expectations on our children.
Yes.
Sometimes if we set expectations and the children cannot meet that expectation, they may just hide themselves from the parents.
Give one example, what expectation are you talking about?
Example like I know there are parents who expect the children to get A's in their school results, and when they don't get, they just don't tell the parents at all what they get. Just a simple example. So how do we balance in this sense, like setting expectation and then I think not losing the communication with our children?
I think when parents push their children too much to a corner and drive them up the wall, you get issues like this. So some parents are very demanding, expect the son or daughter to be nothing but number one. It's a very high expectation. So if you got parents who are like that, you're basically pushing your son or daughter to a corner and driving up the wall. So if he cannot deliver, there's high chance that basically he conceals things, hide away from you and not letting you know, or sometimes tell you a lie, or make up some stories to make you happy. So when things like that happen, I think it's important for good parents like us to reflect, is your expectation realistic? If that is what you're saying, I'm a very lousy parent because I don't set very high standard for my children. Not that I set low standard, but I let them flow the way they want. But if they go anywhere which I feel was really very substandard, I'll tell them, hey, this is not acceptable. But I don't say to them that, oh, you must get straight A's, how many D's, and better still, E plus or more, and things like that. Some parents are very demanding, and they call it high standard. But they are pushing their kids to one corner. So that can be dangerous at times. And these days you find that more and more kids, either they become more rebellious, or they shut down, or they basically totally go cuckoo. If ever any of the child become like this, I will take the parent to task. They have to be blamed. Because these days some parents do that. So some of them, they become very rebellious. My father wanted me to be a doctor. I purposely become an artist. I go and draw and I frustrate my father. I say. They will do that. Kids will do that these days. They will do that. Or sometimes they just shut down. They don't tell you anything. And when they got, some of these very demanding parents, that's why you see some cases, those engineers, studying engineering, doctor, they jump from colleges, hostels and things like that. Depression, they cannot. The famous Dr. Koo skin specialist, the story you heard. Many of such stories. So when you set very high expectation for your kids, please be careful because you may be pushing him or her to the other end, to the other corner. That's something we need to know as parents. Please think deeply, is that realistic? Is that actually, what you want? For me, I don't do that, but I know some parents do that. In fact, for my second daughter, I'd like to tell the second, because there are a lot of issues with her. Second daughter, we're so afraid she will fail from 5, honestly, When she got a few A's, we're very happy already. Not fantastic result. We pray hard that she doesn't fail her Malay, she doesn't do this, and then she doesn't do that. As long as she got good result with some credit and A's, she can apply for university. We are very happy. And true enough, she didn't disappoint us, and she got into we're so afraid she will fail. Hustle, fail, and then after this one didn't do well, then didn't do well. We get a big problem. Even with money, we also have a big problem. What to do with her? Okay. So don't push your kids to the extreme when you know you also cannot handle if things go the other way. That's something for parents to always think about, because these days parents, somehow it is a very competitive society. Neighbors all get straight A, my son also must get straight A. And then you go into working life, also very competitive, all talk about KPIs, big numbers, must achieve target. we come back also set KPI for our children. At the end of the day, you talk about being happy, raising happy. If you really can do a survey and ask the children and they can honestly, freely tell, probably a lot of children today are not happy. And you ask them, did we give them enough? Yes, we give them enough. We give them enough food, enough money, enough facility, enough opportunity. And many of them actually are not very happy. So I think we have to go back to the basic. Ground them with good values. Set some expectation, but don't push them to a corner. I think that's important. Then we will not disappoint ourselves also at the same time. A lot of parents are disappointed because they set very high expectation. And that expectation is their own expectation. But don't get me wrong, I'm not asking you to go back today and say, oh, you attend Dhamma talk. No need one Buddhist parent, no need that. And that's not what I mean. But I mean, if it is harmful, you better take a step back and ask yourself. But occasionally it's good to have a chat with your kids. Most of us don't do this. How's things, how are you coping, And if you are close enough, again, depends when you were young, they will tell you that this one really crazy, then you know you're not coping well with it. And some of these are not coping well not because they don't have the skills and knowledge, it's just beyond their means. Alright, I'm not sure I answered that question. But okay, last one.